Greetings, YouTubers. Greetings. I am getting my audio together real quick. I hope y'all having a wonderful night. Yes, yes. I'm having a good night. I just finished eating. Well, it's been a minute. And I relaxed a bit. And I decided to come on and do a little chat real quick. My whole screen looked different, so I'm getting used to this because I had shut it down and reopened it. Um, so, yeah. Woo-wee! All right, so when I tapped into Collagenesis panel earlier to see what he was talking about, see if he was dragging on Oshay, yes, he still was. Talking about Oshay need to drag Ados FBA to show his loyalty to the Pan-African family. Ooh, I said, oh, that's what you gotta do? You gotta drag Ados FBA to show your loyalty to Pan-Africanism. I like what O'Shea said though. He said they are targeting a particular group of people, not their own, because a lot of you are black immigrants disguising yourselves. I mean, seriously, extremely doing the tethering game. Now I see why Tariq used that tethering. You guys are seriously tethering to the ADOS FBA family, masquerading like you are us. And when you speak, you say we, but it's not we. You're not us. You pretend to be us while you promote all kinds of trash to our people. You come in our communities and tell our men to go outward, to become passport brothers, leave your families, abandon your families, like you did as an immigrant. Abandon your families, your roots, and go outward and search for a bride. You can get better than your own kind. hmm I guess Tariq Nasheed woke up from that spell because he was on that too at one point, right? He was going all around the world telling brothers to go out and get a wife. Make sure, even if she's biracial, to get a biracial wife with a white mother. So he was under that spell too, I guess. You guys, you black immigrants, you came to America and you psyched the mind of those FBA men. Men that's descendants of chattel slavery, foundational men of this country who've been here way before you came. You psyched their minds by telling them the grass was green on the other side, telling them you live an exciting life all over the world, traveling all over the world with, um, creating different families here, there, and everywhere. You made them think it was so exciting to abandon their families for other people. What a sad thing. What a very sad thing. And a lot of our brothers fell for it. They actually was believing you when you told them the grass was greener on the other side. But as we know today, many of them ended up messing with the riffraff of the country, women that was or had been prostituted since 12 years of age. worked in salons and, you know, all she know how to do is please a man, illiterate. And I'm not criticizing, I'm just saying what you guys was dealing with. You wasn't dealing with top-notch women groomed up to be boss women, groomed up to be leaders, groomed up to be women that don't tolerate bullshit. You were coming in contact with women who were in desperate positions. They had no other way out except the hopes of maybe one day meeting a rich man who sweep them off their feet out of prostitution into a better life. And they have had those suckers come by. I'm quite sure. I seen one black American guy, he was on a video and he made a video to warn other brothers. He had a sad face on his face. A sad expression. He was like, "Yeah, man, I went over there. I think it was somewhere in Brazil or one of them South American countries. Yeah, man, I went over there, and man, I married her, and all she cared about was her family, getting her family over here to America. And as soon as she got her family over here, man, she divorced me." I'm like, that makes sense, right? Believe me, they got suckers out here. Yeah, yeah. But I don't blame them. I mean, a lot of the behavior of men today, many of them are selfish. They are lovers of themselves. And so, with that being said, all they know is what they want. And if a woman is not willing to serve them, then she's not good enough for them. And that's what scriptures tell us women. There will be a time when men become lovers of themselves. And surely it's that time. They care nothing about you and what your needs are, what you want. All you hear them saying is, I want a woman that will submit to me and do everything I tell her to do. Do you know in the scriptures? I ain't gonna go deep in scriptures tonight, of course, but I'm just saying the scriptures right before it says, women, you ought to submit to your husbands. Right before that, it says, men, you must treat your women, you must love your women as you love yourself. You know what that means? Everything you do for yourself, she's like your other half. You have to make sure you're doing it for her. That means if you're eating tonight, you got to make sure she eat. If you have somewhere, you got to find somewhere to sleep, you got to make sure she has somewhere to sleep. That means if you got to if you need new clothes, you got to make sure she have new clothes. Everything you do for yourself, you have to do for her too. That's what that means. That is when a man is being responsible. Because when you get a wife, you're responsible for her. You are the head, right? You want to lead, right? The way this is what the head does. He leads, he provides and protects his family. Okay? Trump once said, the minute your wife have to work, you got a problem. Now what does that mean? He said the minute you have a wife and she has to work, you have a problem. I agree with that. Without even thinking too deep, I totally agree with what he's saying. Because he knows very well if you want to be the head, you have to be a provider, a leader, and a protector. You can't be sending that woman out there to work and she earning her keeps and you want to take her whole check and the foolery of it. Hmm. So, anyways, a lot of these men today, they just not up to par for the ladies. You know, they just not up to. They can't. They don't fit the part of what women desire today, especially here in America. We are liberated women, make our own money, our own living, and things like that. Um, and a lot of men, they lagging. And so that makes them unhappy, the fact that the woman can take care of herself and things like that. Then they end up going abroad looking for women who's in desperate positions and end up with a prostitute from another country. He don't know she been in the salons since she was 12. All he knows is he has a female body next to him, keeping him company through the late night or rubbing his back when he turn into a kid. Because you know sometimes they can turn into children and have tantrums even. So yeah, um, that's why some of them end up going abroad. Because us women over here, we not about to play with that shit. You know what I'm saying? I thought I was the only one. I was like, girl, I've been out the game for years now. Like, baby, I don't I don't mess with these dudes out here. No, boo. Hell to the no. Now when I was coming up, I had men wine and dine me. I just don't understand today's society. I don't understand it. I had men that wine and dine me. They happily wined and dined me. Happily. Like it was just the norm for him to pay, for him to wine and dine the woman. I don't know how he made money. That's none of my business. All I know is he wanted to wine and dine a beautiful lady. Get to know me. We go talking and all that. Whatever we do, we getting to know each other. And yes, you have to spend money on me to get to know me. Like that's not abnormal. That was the normal thing in my time coming up in the 90s. Like I don't recall actually being with a guy and I'm coming out of my pocket. What? Oh man, I would have left. I would have been like, excuse me? Shish. I never even played. I used to go to the club so much. I never paid to get in the club. I can't tell you how much it costs because the men look you up and down and be like, come on, you go ahead for free. As long as you got on a dress, you look decent, you're gonna get in for free. You're gonna get all your drinks for free. All you gotta do is go to the bar and act like you ordering. Before you can even put in an order, you're gonna have 12 drinks. But listen, so I don't understand today's society when men don't want to pay. Like I can't even comprehend, even though I try to comprehend. I just can't. I have a son that I've taught. Listen, I have a son that I taught to how to treat women decent. But if she get out of hand, pack that bitch up and drop her back off wherever you got her from if she get disrespectful, okay? Because you're a man and you don't need nobody stepping on your toes and slapping you around like a big bee. Okay, we don't do that. You don't allow that. Long as she respectful though, be respectful. So, and I've taught him that a wife is different from a girlfriend. You don't do too much for a lady friend now. Okay, she ain't your wife, baby. You can pay here and there a couple of times, but she gonna have to come up out of her pockets because she ain't no wife. She's just a hey and bye type of chick. Okay? But I've taught him how to be a gentleman. So my son opened doors. He does things like that. He buy Valentine gifts. He's romantic. Yeah. So he went on a date a while back. Well, this was some years ago. And when he came back home, he told me, he said, he felt kind of weird because I was looking. He said, I was opening the door for her and doing stuff like that, pulling out the chair, all that kind of stuff. And she told me, you got to stop because you're being too nice. And my son was looking at me and I was looking at him. I'm like, I don't, I'm thinking, I don't even know what to say to that. Like, really? You're being too nice? Today's time, the young, oh, mind you, my son went to pay for the meal. She told him, I'm paying. I was like, what? Are you serious? I didn't even know what to say. I was like, what? And then I saw my nephew, girl, his baby's mother. She, honey, she went and she just showered him with gifts one day just to make him happy. She went and bought him all kind of gadgets, phones and chains and iPhones and games and I'm like, I'm just sitting there looking like, what did he buy you, babe? And she's like, oh, I don't need nothing. And I'm like, oh, what? Hey, it is what it is. It's a whole different thing today. The females of today, they wine and dine the men. I can't comprehend that because I didn't grow up like that. A man has to wine and dine me. I'm not about to wine and dine a man. I just can't, like, what? So anyway, moving along off of that. Oh, I just wanted to pinpoint some things. That's why we have men out here doing those type of things like passport bros and you know, they're just doing all kind of crazy stuff that we don't comprehend. We us ladies is like, what is all this about? You know, we don't comprehend the foolishness. That's not the men of our yesterdays. The men of our yesterdays, they weren't perfect, but they wasn't as raggedy as today. And they'd be wondering why you would go to another race. Are you crazy? I've dated three different white males in my younger years. And let me tell you something. With each one of them, I've never had them tell me no. It's hard for them to say no. No matter what you ask for, it's like they almost there to serve you. I say, damn. One second. Oh, two commercials, huh? I say, dang. I just was looking. I'm like, wow, yeah. It's not when you with one of them. From my experience, they don't say no like talking about it. I like that. Very easygoing. Okay. I didn't have any. I mean, when I think back, I don't have any bad thing to say about them. It wasn't, me. I was never serious with anybody, whether you be black, white, whatever. I've always moved along because I knew that men like to wine and dine me. So I just moved along. I never really took anybody serious to that degree. But they were nice men. They were nice men. Um, let's see. Yeah, I can't say nothing bad about them. Nothing bad at all. You know. I mean, I had an issue with one of them one time. He was talking about racism don't exist no more, and I'm like, okay, you say that shit one more time, you pissing me off. But since I'm a little bit more mature, I understand what he was saying when he said racism doesn't exist anymore. What he meant was according to the laws of the land, racism doesn't exist anymore. There's no structured racism by law. That's what he meant when he was saying racism doesn't exist anymore. And what I was saying, our communication skills wasn't so great. What I was saying was it's a hidden racism. It exists still. It's there still. Okay, but he knew that it was still hidden racism going on. But his thing was, but according to law, it doesn't exist anymore and it's illegal and you can sue. You see what I'm saying? So, we had that little issue for a second. And, I just, you know, rubbed it off, whatever. Hold on, I just looking at some, okay. Yeah, so moving along though, I was saying all that because I had kind of got on relationships because of the um, black immigrants coming to black America and spreading among the brothers, mainly the brothers, not the sisters, spreading among the brothers the idea that they can have a better life abroad. The pastures greener on the other side. All that old bull crap they pushed in our communities. Dating all the way back to Marcus Garvey. Anytime somebody telling your ass to move to Africa, but they not, they sitting in cushy America, you don't even entertain such a person. Okay? Hold on, let me grab something right quick. Yeah, but the stream, let's get to the topic though. Let's get to the topic. Okay? The topic. What's my topic? Because I just chatted, so I just put something up there and I was like, okay, I'll do a little chatting tonight. Let me look up and see what's my topic because I was talking about something else, honey. Give me a second. Let me see. Oh, yeah. I wanted to touch up on what O'Shea was saying about, not what she was saying about Kyla, but the scamming thing. That's what I was talking about. Honey, listen, somebody please tell Kyla it is a form of scamming when you lie about how beautiful a place is and what the people missing out on. You just can't imagine how beautiful it is, yet you don't want to turn on the camera. Boy, stop. This shit. Oh, it's so beautiful. I'm in Liberia, but refuse to turn on the camera. Your ass wanting to know Liberia. You scared as fuck of getting stuck in Liberia. He wouldn't dare go to Liberia at this time. Can you imagine Kyla getting stuck over there? The government talking about, well, you've been pushing that anti-American, pan-African stuff, and we shutting those type of folks down. By the way, they really are too now. Trump is getting rid of all the people that's anti-American, that's pushing anti-American rhetoric. You see all them Palestinians and stuff out there protesting, all that kind of stuff. Child, he getting rid of all of them. He yanking visas. He taking them out of the schoolhouses. He just, girl, he going after them. Okay. Now he says because they push that anti-American stuff, and that they already, you know, enemies of the state. You know, so yeah, he was saying that anybody pushing anti-American rhetoric gonna get it. Oh yeah, yeah. People that's getting multiple citizenships, he's going after them as well. It's, y'all go read the news. Just go type that in, okay? Because I ain't gonna put up all these videos and articles. You know, you just go type that in. He going after them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I don't think Kala would take a chance on getting stuck over there. Can you imagine they tell that man, you can't go back to America. We revoking your American citizenship since you have Liberian citizenship and you speak against America. You promote African, Pan African in America. Kala would lose his fucking knees would give out. Okay, he would faint and everything else. Child, listen, child. He'll be like in a state of just, whoo, that man will lose it, okay? And he'll learn a lesson then. Don't ever try to convince other people to move there while you living in cushy America. I think they all need to go there and Trump take their citizenships. They'll stop playing with people then. See, when they got rid of Garvey, when they said, okay, get him out of the country, all this nonsense he pushing, they got rid of him. He didn't go back home to Jamaica. He didn't want to be in his homeland like a lot of you black immigrants. He didn't go back home. Well, I think he went back home and then he went straight, he left there and went straight to Europe for years upon years. He passed up Africa where he was telling everybody to move to. He went to Europe. He was like, hell no, I ain't going there. Hell no, I ain't going there. People like, well, look, it's the right time to go to Africa. Hell no, I ain't going there. Pass straight up. Just pass the place straight up to go to Europe for years upon years. He got the F on, okay? And even when he returned back home, he still didn't even stop in Africa, just to, for a week at least. You know what I'm saying? Before you go back home, just in 1 week. No, didn't even want to see it, nor smell it, but promoted that people up and moved there. And that's how come the Ados FBA family knew that it was something wrong with the person. People who do that, is something truly wrong with them. You know what I'm saying? Why would I be around here promoting you to move to Africa while I'm sitting here in cushy America? But I'm promoting to you to move to another country. And I'm getting mad with you with I'm getting mad with Afro Brazilians because I'm promoting them to move to Africa and they refuse to move to Africa and they refuse to call themselves African when I can clearly see they're mixed, right? And been removed from Africa for hundreds and hundreds of years. And so I get a fit when I'm trying to promote it to, like, if I was to do something like that, it's something seriously wrong with a person that does that. And I'm thinking if I was to do something like that, I gotta tell you, that's not somebody in their right mind. I mean, I don't know what you're getting out of doing something like that. It has to be a scam. And a person, it's sad. You understand what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's crazy. But some people so deep in it, they would even call you crazy for not doing what they. It's almost like somebody trying to convert you to be a Christian. You every day they coming at you. No, you have to call yourself a Christian. You have to read the Bible every single day. It'll drive you crazy, and you'll be thinking, "What the hell is wrong with?" Okay, but yeah, it's all a scam. All of it's a scam. It's games. It's people that don't care about how other people fare out in life because they got older people that actually fall for them lies. Oh, like Kala be doing, he would say he's not a scammer. Indeed, he is a scammer because he would tell you all the beautiful things about Liberia. And I got some videos up. I'm going to show you how beautiful it is, all right? He would tell you, oh, it's so beautiful. It's a wonderful city. The children is so great. Oh, really? The, ch- the children is so great. And I have, they'll tell us to brothers to get our brothers to abandon their families here. The women over there is gorgeous. They're they so meek and humble and child. I've been in this country and I've for a long time, all my life basically, and I've met different kinds of African women with seriously bad attitudes. They're no different than the rest. I've met Asian women with seriously bad attitudes. I'm talking about way worse than a black woman. Okay, you can't judge a woman by her race. Talking about whether she have an attitude or not, or whether she's more meek. Those women over there don't have no pushback because they in a bad position. They can't afford to push back. They gotta survive. But when they get to America, they're gonna get that pushback though. When they over there somewhere where they don't have no protection and or nothing, then they're gonna be quiet and do what they gotta do to get what they gotta get to survive. And they be saying stuff like, "Yeah, the women over here is gorgeous. They're gorgeous. All that ain't nothing." Even Chaz in the factory saying that, who do the travel live. He'll put the camera on, and women be like, "Oh, the women here is gorgeous, and they're so whatever." Like these people, is something wrong with them. I don't know. I really don't care. It's crazy, though. And so, Kyla Genesis, he's like, "Yeah, because I got a wife. My wife, I had to pay a dowry, and my wife is a real woman because she know how to cook jollof rice and shrimp." And we're gonna listen to him talk about his wife. Okay, we're gonna listen to the video. By the way, I want you guys to know that in Liberia today, um, there are no more American Liberians living in Liberia today as a collective. You might have one or two, like a handful of American Liberians that went back to Liberia, and that's only because they married outside of America, American Liberians. That's very few. A lot of them did not engage with other the indigenous Africans that was there. They didn't engage with them like that. You know, it was a small amount of them. And let me tell you something. Today, Liberia, when they took over the country, all the American Liberians fled. You know, they ate the males. They ate them up to so-called absorb their power. They did eat them. They shot them and ate them. But the other people fled to America. Isn't that something, by the way? You get the hell out of America. Your people like, come on, let's go. We getting out of America. These white folk crazy. Next thing you know, we going back to This some Pan African shit right here. We going back to Mama Africa. Here we come, Mama Africa. We going back home because they think that they were actually kidnapped from home. The Mandela effect. When it wasn't kidnapped from home, the real actual event was that you were sold from home. They sold your ass. As they sold you to work in the field, to labor for people. And you're going back under the impression that you were kidnapped when you wasn't, because Africans play the victim real good. You was not kidnapped. So the people was like, yeah, we going back to Mama Africa. All that old shit. And then they arrive on the shores and boogie bang bang, shebang. They saw them spears and them Africans. Even in Sierra Leone, they was burning down their camp and shit. They had to fight with the African natives. In Liberia, they had to fight with them. They had to stop them from selling other people, kidnapping other tribes and selling them to the Europeans and eating each other and killing each other. They had to stop these people from doing these things. But you want to run back to Mama Africa. I think you better stop, look, listen, and learn from the Liberians. They left America running back to Mama Africa too. And look what happened. The Sierra Leones too. They over there, they got their ass beat a lot too by them native Africans. Burning their shit down and everything. Can you imagine you arrive on the shore, Mama Africa? And then them natives start hollering and screaming around you, savage style and shit, and doing all kind of crazy stuff. You can't sleep around there. What are you doing? But once they dropped them off, it wasn't no going back. Because when they drop you off, white men wasn't about to bring you back. That wasn't a plan. Okay, the plan is we trying to get you niggas up out of our country because we don't have no more use for you. You done built our country up. We done outlawed slavery. Now we want you out. And we're going to help you go. Listen, we want you out so bad, we're going to pay for you to go stay somewhere else. And once they dropped them off, they wasn't about to take them back. They didn't have no choice but to stay and make it happen. And in the end, they ended up getting ate up. In the end, all the many years that went by, a whole what they had arrived in the 1820s or something, and it still came down to a point where they ended up getting ate up by the native savages. But y'all want to run back to Mama Africa, not understanding who you about to deal with, not understanding that's the very people that sold you off. Angry? Nah. Careful. Running over there. You got a lot of women going over there getting killed, men getting butchered by their drivers, women almost getting raped. Kala is a scammer indeed, because you know what he does? He get online and he spew deception. He tell you how beautiful I be. Oh, that's my second time going and my third time going. It's so beautiful and it's so good. I'm going to show you how beautiful it is doing these videotapes. It's so beautiful and gorgeous. Oh my gosh. I'm like, okay, if you're in Liberia, sir, turn on the fucking camera. Turn the camera on. You don't turn that camera on though. Oh, I see some comments. Let me see. Okay, nobody comment, but I see people on the numbers. But you don't turn that camera on. You claim you in Liberia, but you ain't turn that camera on. You refuse to turn the camera on, right? And I heard that. I thought that when the guys go there, they live in luxury, resorts. They say that's what diners do. We'll say that. Jonathan say. Matter of fact, we haven't heard from Jonathan in a while. Oh shit. I hope this nigga ain't get stuck over there. Man, cause let me tell you something. That man ain't playing with this immigrant shit. He don't like, especially you Africans and Haitians and stuff. He already said, I'm sending y'all back to them shithole countries. I don't want you here. Okay, you up there thinking he just saying that about the Central Americans, the Mexicans and El Sorians, what they call them shit. You know what I'm talking about. Listen, no, he just dealing with them first. Okay, but he's coming for you now because he doesn't like you. And I think you're smart enough to know this. Okay, he doesn't like the Africans. He said they're from shithole countries. And if he can send the Haitians back home during such a time of what's going on in their country right now, he doesn't even care about that. He's still like, go home and fight them. Woo. Then there's places in Africa where they have gotten extension after extension after extension by presidents, and the war has been over like 20, 30 years. So, whoo, child, listen, you better be stacking that money, okay? If I was you, I'd be stacking that money fast as I can, making some routes, making some plans and stuff. Because this man, he's not a fan of black immigrants. He's not a fan of black immigrants. So, anyways, he yanking green cars and just yanking. He going after all of those people that came here during the Biden administration and became legal. He taking all of that away. Listen, he going after birthright citizenship. Like hello, who the hell is moving around and got people getting stuck? And this ain't no color thing, sweetheart. It's an immigrant thing. They got people getting stuck. Like I have heard some stories, honey. People that's American citizens getting yanked the papers and you don't want to be traveling right now. No, you you don't want to be doing that right now. It's not a good idea. Okay, it's not right now. It is an anti-immigrant movement going on. The government, the new government. So yeah. I think people should start concentrating on stacking their money and having at least three plans on what they're gonna do just in case. Because I do think that he's gonna remove a lot of people. That's the war has been over in the country. Okay, if he taking citizenship, birthright citizenships, then you should know that. Okay, now I think he's being nice to a degree because you know what? Um, he was dropping them off over there in El Salvador. Was it El Salvador? One of them countries. He was dropping the immigrants off, and he was giving them like 3 million to help them when they got off the plane. I think that was pretty nice. That was nice of him. Listen, when he found all of that, I like what he doing in the government, how he cleaning it up. But you know what he really doing, right? When they came for him, he like, I'm about to take all you MFers money. Because they had a lot of fraudulent stuff going on with the government officials racking up. And how Trump, he went through there and cleaned it all up, got rid of all the LGBT stuff, just shut everything down. Ain't nobody getting no fraudulent money no more. So, um, yeah, I think that's a good thing. I think he's doing a good job at cleaning up the government, cleaning up. That's a wonderful thing. Um, what else I was about to say? I was about to say something else. But anyway, on to this topic. You can't afford to be clowning nobody, sir. This is about college Genesis. Back to what I was saying about him. He's a very deceptive person. He tell lies that Liberia is an awesome, great place and it is so beautiful, but we're gonna see the videos and see how not beautiful it is. And the women are so gorgeous. He has a oh, that's why I was saying that. I was saying that there are no more American Liberians in Liberia. Only the indigenous Africans that stole the identity of the Liberians. When they stole the country, they stole the identity too. Kala's wife is not American Liberian. She's an African indigenous Liberian, which is not really a Liberian. They just stole the country and the identity along with it. So his wife is from a cannibal tribe. You know, I try to tell people this. You know, they going over there marrying women from cannibal tribes and shit. He going there sitting there eating with them, don't know what he eating on, and you're wondering why. Hold on, I got two screens open. You're wondering why he the first time he got sick, right? He talking about it was mosquitoes. Baby, you don't know what you eating. You could be eating human flesh. Don't you know they had a woman over there once in Africa? She was serving people a soup with human flesh in it, and they didn't even know. You don't know where the ingredients come from and stuff. He's a big dumbo. Anybody that goes to another country and just sit there and grub on the food, you don't know where it come from or anything like that. I mean, eating a lobster is one thing. I can clearly see it's a lobster, right? Or eating a crab or something like that. I can clearly see it's, are you yanking a turkey head off or something right in front of me and I watch you cook it? That's one thing. But if I didn't watch you cook it, no thank you. And he ain't watching nobody cook food. He just go and grub. Sir, you haven't heard before there's a saying, especially in Black America. Don't drink the Kool-Aid, meaning don't trust the folks that's pushing that bullshit to you. Sir, have you heard the saying, don't bite the apple? You know it come from when the witch was in the woods and she had met up with Snow White and she tricked Snow White into biting the apple that was poison. Kala is so dumb, he bite the apple. He didn't just bite it, he ate it. Talking about, oh, we got the same skin. You African, I'm African. Now, you know, Africans don't think we African. Oh, the white man's children. You African, I'm African. That's what Kala was thinking. He didn't just bite the apple, he ate the whole apple. My goodness. He didn't just drink the Kool-Aid, he went back for more and more. Now I want to show you this right here. This is crazy. Let me show you this. When I'm talking, I'm laughing, but I'm serious. Okay? You cannot just go sitting around eating from anybody. One second. Eating from anybody. Am I on the right screen? Going to another country where you know they practice cannibalism right there in Liberia and just grubbing on the food and stuff. Like, who does that? Boy, something wrong with you if you do that. Like, you're not even thinking. You're not a thinker. Okay, wait a minute. Hold up a second. Yeah, you're not even a thinker if you do something like that. For real? I want to show you this. Listen to this right here. And let me turn the music down. It seems like it's too loud. Child, listen, this is what happens with these people that go running to Africa. Listen. Or human sacrifices. By the way, this is Buck Naked General telling about his experience with, some ritual, whatever African ritual, how he became who he became, a cannibal, soldier and all that stuff. Now listen. They sacrificed people. They killed people. So they killed people and used their blood, he said, to inject. Taking the blood and taking them to different eateries, that's restaurants, wherever people eat, and paid the people at those eateries, the restaurant collar, the restaurants, wherever you're eating, boo, and put them in all the foods that was cooked. And I'm sure some of the drinks too. And anyone who ate from that eatery automatically have the fear of President Doe. Now ask yourself this. Kala would take his ass over there to a country where there are no more Americo-Liberians living. There isn't any Americo-Liberians over there anymore. They all fled when the war happened. Remember, it was only a little of them, by the way, when it wasn't a whole lot of them. And the men was captured, shot, and ate, and all the other people fled to America. Ah, get us up out of here! They ran their asses back over here. They jumped on flights, holding on for dear life, and came right back to this country. They left. But today, the whole country has been taken over by the shit. I say savages because they lawless. They just crazy buck wild. You gonna see the whole country has been taken over by the indigenous um, African native savages. They ran the country down, by the way, turned it upside down, inside out, round and round. They really ruined it. And there are no American Liberians, the people that built the country, the descendants of American chattel slavery that left and went there and built the country called Liberia. None of them are there. It's all African people masquerading under the identity of Liberians. They're not Liberians. They are African native tribes that's been there way before Liberians arrived. Liberians are Americans, Black Americans that went there and built a country. The Africans living there today, again, they are not Liberian. Elvis is not Liberian. That is a crewman from the Crew tribe. None of those people calling themselves over there are Liberians. They took the country, but they also took the people's identity. And now they are masquerading around the world as though they are American Liberians. Well, my God, dang gone goodness. You took the country, okay, but God dang, do you gotta take the people name and masquerade like you one of them? How disrespectful. My goodness. So Kyla goes over to Liberia, knowing very well there are no American Liberians, but he will sit online and tell you guys that there are American Liberians. And he said he's not a scammer. Indeed, he is, sweetheart. He will sit online and tell you how beautiful it is, and we're going to see it's not. He would tell you how they have American Liberians there when there are none there. They fled. And they ain't trying to go back because when Trump tried to send them back his first term, them people was having a fit until he let them stay. They was pleading with him. And because they are American Liberians, they descendants from chattel slavery here in America, that is the only reason that he has slack for them. Because our people stepped up on their behalf and was backing it and saying, let them stay. And all the other Liberians that's masquerading under those people name, the savages that got over here under their name, still heavily tethering American Liberians to this day. They right here in America tethering American Liberians, masquerading under the name Liberian. You are not a Liberian. You are an African, indigenous African from a tribe in Africa. So Colin's wife is, I always told you guys, his wife is a cannibal. She's from a cannibal tribe. When he take his butt over there and sitting there eating somebody, he's sitting at the table eating with her and her family. Yes, they practice cannibalism. See, when these men get on these panels and start telling you about how beautiful the women are in these countries, especially Africa, the first thing you ought to ask, I want you to ask them, is she from a cannibal tribe? A tribe where they sacrifice, they do human sacrifices. A tribe where they do incest and it's normal to them. A tribe where, they're doing all kind of crazy shit. He's a deceitful liar, and that is a scammer. When those older people get over there, go back and watch the video of his tour and the people looking like, I thought he said we was gonna see. You gotta get the facial expressions right. I'm a little sleepy, but I'm still talking. I thought he said we was gonna see whatever. One lady was looking like, what is this? This ain't nothing to see. What the hell? He lied to those people. Had those people thinking he was going on a luxury African tour. And he up there. Oh, and over here is the great building of shit. Bringing those people into an area that's dangerous. Bringing those people to restaurants where people practice cannibalism and they don't know what they eat, and they're not even aware that the people practice cannibalism. They're not educated about what the people they're around. They have no idea what those people into. They just think that the people is American Liberians. They actually believe that the people are American Liberians. I mean, they're totally clueless because they're older people and they just wanted to get out of America and go see something different. And he told them, "Come on, I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna take your hand, and it's gonna be fun." And people get there and be ready to turn around. It'd be older people. You ain't never seen no young people on them tours with them. When you see Dinah's tours, be old people, old lonely people, women who probably out because he told them they got a lot of young men over there. Miss Bethany, Dinah's will say something like that. They got a lot of young men over there, Miss Bethany. Yup. Hey man, yeah man. Let me tell you what I got. Man, these women in Africa. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? He's lying. Lying. They're all scammers, deceitful liars. And they're scamming the older people of our communities. Like I said, I ain't see the younger people go by there. But like, bitch, I ain't giving you no $4,500 to go to Africa. I'll go myself. Who you think you talking to? Listen, I say if you want to go to Africa, do what my sister husband did. He went, joined a missionary group, and they went to African villages or whatever to help people. If you want to go to Africa on that type of level, join a missionary group. They give you somewhere to stay, all that kind of stuff. Okay, they look out for you. You're not by yourself, and you're not being scammed. So yeah, let me talk about this right quick since it crossed my thoughts. I heard on Dinah's panel, this lady, she got up there and she was upset, and she wanted to tell her story and warn people about Dynast. Honey, that lady paid him like I think 5,000 plus to go on his luxury African tour, and she missed the flight, so she had to catch a later flight. So when she caught the later flight, she got off when she landed in Africa. I forgot what part of Africa. When she landed in Africa, she has a channel telling her side of the story now. When she got off the flight in Africa, something about the borders was closed or something. So she calls him and she's talking to him and explaining to him that they're not letting her in or whatever like that, right? He wasn't aware as an African tour guide that the borders were going to be closed and you had one of your people that had a later flight. You didn't give a fuck whether she arrived or not, did you? You didn't. Because you would have looked into it to make sure she'd be okay. But he didn't care. So she landed and ended up calling him saying she was stuck. And she couldn't just fly out right away. She had to wait some time for the next flight. So he had told her to rent a moped, the person a person that drive the moped. But the lady had she had three luggages with her. And she hired a moped guy, a young guy, to ride her on the back roads to sneak in the country. I say, hell no. What? Sneaking in the country? Girl, you crazy? Your ass can end up locked up over there for that. So he advised her to get on the moped with the guy with her three luggages in her hand. And she said it was an extremely bumpy road. It wasn't paved or anything. With three luggages in her hands, picture this now. You're in a whole nother country on the back roads with a stranger who could have drove your ass anywhere and ate you up. You are on the back. I would have been so upset. You're on the back roads, sneaking into the country with a stranger with three luggages in your hands on an extremely bumpy road. Girl, that's too much already. So anyway, when she got there, she wanted her money refunded or something like that, and he refused to give her her money back. And I think he should have given her money back because she had to sneak in the country. Do you know? I found out later on that people who do that, when you get ready to leave the country and your thing hasn't been stamped, your passport, you can have a problem leaving the country because they're gonna be like, how the fuck you get in the country in the first place? Now I don't know, like that was some effed up stuff right there. And this was an up in age woman. Diners ain't care. She didn't get to catch the flight with them back home either. Then I hear about all these frauds and people's playing like he don't know any better. What? Girl, if you don't go sit down with that playing like an innocent lamb bullshit, oh, he knows very well what he's doing. He knows very well what he's doing. every fucking thing he's doing. He knows how to put on his innocent, oh, I'm a dumb lamb hat, but he far from it. He play innocent in college is so dumb he fall for it. Well, see, Diners don't know any better. Oh, Diners know more than you, sir. How to play them games. He got you all the way fooled, sir. He knows very well what he's doing. Well, I overbooked and I just don't know what to do, Kyla. What do you think I should do? I, I, I mean, I don't know what to do because I spent the money about it. Why would you spend money? And you haven't even taken a trip or anything like that. You haven't really made sure everything was up to par. You don't spend the fucking money until everything is up to par. That's the sign of a scammer is when you spend the money before everything is up to par. That means you're a scammer. Well, Cal, I don't know what to do. Uh, he playing games with Kala so he can have people back him up. It's a game, Kala. Wake up. He knows very well what he's doing. More than one scam, more than two scams, multiple scams. You think he don't know what he's doing? You tripping. He know what he doing. Then come up with he doesn't want to give the money back. He come up with these excuses to why he can't or don't give the money back. It's nothing to be said. It's scamming. Okay. Hmm. Deception is also scamming people. When you sit and lie like Kala, oh, Liberia is so beautiful. It's the most beautiful place. When they make it seem like it's of urgency that you get there before you miss out. Oh, you gotta come right now. It's so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Yeah, yeah, come right now. Summer's the best time. Yeah. I mean, they have a lot of mosquitoes. This motherfucking mosquito bill, but come right now. Summer is the best time. Oh, yes, yes. Your dumb ass get over there and you wish you wouldn't have got there. You just want to go back home. Now, wait a minute. I'm going to interrupt this for a second. We was talking about Jonathan earlier. We haven't heard from his ass in a while. And one thing I could say, I do think Jonathan go back and forth to Africa. But I also think the way he be on flights when he say he be like, "Ooh, I just landed in Europe." Ooh, girl. Ooh, he be sounding like I just had to get out of there for a day or two. Ooh, oh my gosh, that's how he be sounding to me. I'm like, they be like, "Where you at?" "Oh, I just landed in Europe. I'm eating some popcorn." "Where you at?" "Well, I'm back in Africa." That's actually how he be. One week he in Africa. 3 days later he in Europe. 3 days later he's somewhere in Germany or whatever. The next 3 days he in Africa. It's like he can't stay there long. And he said that he lives behind he lives in a closed community because the savages. Now he keeps it real about what's going on over there in Nigeria, how terrible the people are and dangerous. He keeps it real, but I don't know his game and what he's there for, or whatever. But it must be some big money and some really good to do business because if you feel the people are dangerous and kidnapping people, sacrificing all that old kind of stuff like that, hey. But we haven't heard from him in a while. I hope his cuckoo ass ain't get stuck over there. Mm, mm-mm. He told the story in the back chat with me and Elvis one time he that he was so hungry for a pizza. And what y'all do about them American cravings when y'all over there? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my gosh, Johnny to say he was so craving for a pizza so much, like cheese and stuff. that he took a taxi or something in the wee hours in the morning, like 3, 2 a.m., to go to the Pizza Hut. And he said it was very dangerous because they tell you to not to go out that time of night by yourself because you can end up liably getting kidnapped and stuff, you know. And he was so desperate for the pizza, he said he went out anyways to Domino's. And when he got there, the Domino's pizza, it didn't have pepperoni, but it had wieners as pepperoni. I said, what? Wieners as pepperoni? He like, I got there and they had to put wieners on my pepperoni in place of the pepperoni. I said, oh my gosh. But yeah, um, I don't wish no ill on him. I hope he's not stuck over there, you know, because he's not one of them that promote Africa is so lovely like Kala. He don't do the deception thing. Now again, I don't know what his business is over there, but he don't do the deception thing where he try to play with people's mind and make them think that after he actually tell you the real deal. In Simp Police, he tell you the real deal. Some sweet people keep it very real, and if you still want to go see, and they do have people that still want to go over there and see, then cool. But people that's deceptive about it, like Kala, that is a scammer. Okay, that's a scammer, a no gooded person. Okay, so yeah, and let's hold on. Chaotic Truth Live. He asked for the link. I don't be thinking y'all motherfuckers be up this late. Okay, let me see. Okay, copy. I had to stop my whole. See, it's not letting me do it. I don't know what's up with this. I'm gonna have to buy it because it's not letting me do a lot of stuff. I think they want me to purchase it now. Like the free part is over. It's over. You must pay now. Yeah, I can't drop my link. Okay, wait. Oh no, this the invite. Okay. Okay, I think I got it. Okay, my link is in the chat just in case anybody wanna hit the link. So yeah. Um so what was I saying? Back to what I was saying about Dinus, Kala, and a whole lot of other people that's out. That superstar girl, come to find out, she not even a ADOS FBA masquerading as ADOS FBA, but here she is, a Caribbean, pushing that on us. Now I have to ask, why you don't push it on your people? Why you don't push it in your community of people? That's a question I have. Why don't you push it on the African diaspora? Because I found out that the diaspora is not descendants of slaves. It's the Africans that have left home and went abroad. That's the diaspora, aspirants, diaspora or diasporans, whatever. And I call us because I found that out. I like to say, well, we are the Afro descendants of slaves around the world, not the diasporan or diaspora. but we the Afro slave descendants around the world. Okay? They don't push that to the diasporan people. A listen, I'm getting off my words all twisted, honey. They don't push that on the diaspora. They only push it on the Afro slave descendants around the world. And not the ones all around the world. They push it in particular on ADOS FBA. I don't hear any of them saying to Afro Brazilians, you African. Because clearly you can see a lot of them have mixture. I don't see them saying that to African Asians. Clearly they have a mixture due to slavery. I don't hear them saying that about Afro Mexicans. You African. Stop saying you're not African because clearly they're mixed. And they're not what you call Africans. Again, I don't think that's African talk. I think that's Pan Africans pushing that. Africans will tell you in a minute that you are not an African. They'll tell you that. So, see, let's distinguish the difference. That is Pan Africans pushing that nonsense. It's not Africans. Okay? What else I wanted to say? So Carla was over there talking about O'Shea. Talking about O'Shea looks. Now, hold on. What the hell? Let's get into these videos. Okay? Look at, hold on. Let me bring you up to it. Let's get to this video. Let's share. Um, sharing. Yeah. Now look at this. Look at him. He up here calling O'Shea ugly. He damn near look like O'Shea. Look at him. What what's the difference? He damn near look like him. What is it that he see that's so lovely about himself versus O'Shea? I don't see no difference. This man is crazy. He thinks he's some hell of a type of man. He think he a hell of a good looking ass man. Look at this. Sir, no. No, sir. Uh-uh. Even in his younger pictures, no, sir. No, sir. You're not that guy. Look, he had the nerve to sit up there and talk about O'Shea looks. Look, I don't know what you guys are seeing, but I know what I'm seeing. And it ain't no hell of a looking somebody. He's not somebody I would even mess with. I mean, I wouldn't be attracted to his looks. You know, maybe if he had decency about himself, which he don't. Um, yeah, I wouldn't be attracted to his looks though. Look at this. He got the nerve to talk about O'Shea. And also, he talks like a baby. And like how they did it to so something like that. Like when I hear him talk, it's almost it's not manly. I like men with boom in a voice. Like my son has a nice deep boom in his voice, like a man. Yeah, and I said, eh, yeah, yeah, I'm calling Dennis suspect, saying, like, come on. Well, motherfucker, you pretty old right now, so ain't not gonna help you see till you have freedom. Your ass is pretty old. You better get some peace. It's escapism. Escapism, that's all it is, okay? Kala is a bored old man. He's a bored old man that needs something to do with himself. He's single. He's in need. You know what he need? He need a woman. Okay? He's single, he bored. He needs something to do with his time, so take his mind off himself. And I tell you what, Kala, go to church. While you talking about religion, listen, there's a lot of single women at the church. I tell my auntie this. Girl, if you want a man, there's a whole lot of single men at that church house, okay? For sure. Kala, it's a lot of single women at the church, honey, that would love to cater to you. Those women are looking for a man they can take care of. I seen one lady in church some years back, and the man walked in and her, and they sat in front of me, and she took off his jacket, and he sat down, and she took his jacket and dusted and hung it up real nice on the chair, and then she started dusting off his shirt, and she tilted his hat to make sure it was on proper. She was all over him, and me and the other woman was looking like, girl. They got some women that's bored and lonely and looking for the opportunity to cater to a man as well. Like you looking for a woman to cater you. Go to church, honey. You'll meet them. Okay? Let's get on to the next video. Let's see what this one's about. Oh, this one interesting right here, baby. Let's go into this one right here because he played a video yesterday. He played a video yesterday about Oshay. And he was basically saying O'Shea was exploiting the young lady, as though Kala don't exploit the young ladies. Child, please, this man is totally into little girls. Okay, let me get the video. Yeah, oh, child, you're going to hear this right quick. You got to hear this. Let me make sure y'all can see the title of the video. I mean, okay, I pressed. Okay, I didn't have the video up on the screen. Okay, wait a minute. Hmm. Hold on, I just discovered the video was not on the screen. Add to the stage. What? So wait a minute, this other video wasn't up on the screen while I was talking? Oh hell no, I gotta go back to this because I want you to see this. Yeah, I want you to see this. Yeah, it wasn't on the screen while I was talking. This is the video I was showing when I was telling you Kala is sitting up there criticizing O'Shea Duke Jackson looks. And I'm like, sir, you can't afford to criticize O'Shea. You look just like him. Look at this. Look at this. He doesn't look any different than O'Shea. Where do I see handsome? I don't see handsome or good looking anywhere on this face. Look at this. Hell no. Child, child, no. He like O'Shea so ugly. Like, sir, you're not good looking like that. What are you seeing? I'm trying to see. Hold on. Can we make this screen bigger? Shish. We can't make the screen bigger. Child.
Some respect. I'm not gonna disrespect them.
Sir, you don't look any. Listen, sir, you cannot afford to talk about O'Shea's looks, okay? You're not some hell of a looking guy. You're not. Look at this. Look at this. I can tell you right here in America, a lot of women that I know would not go for this, look wise. No, sir, they sure wouldn't. I don't know what you seeing, but you seeing wrong. Let's go back to the video of him and his cannibal bride, his little girl cannibal bride that he went over there and married for citizenship of the country. Now I don't know why he wants citizenship in I don't know why he wants citizenship in Liberia with all those savages living over there that's liable to eat people and that's sitting up there eating at restaurants with blood mixed in them and shit, mixed in the food and drinks, just and maybe eating cannibal dishes. You don't know what you're eating and stuff. Like, I mean, listen, let's play the video.
Well, see, the whole thing is a lot of people, when they do that, right? Those are the type of people who they're trying to do what it is this. They want to bring African women over here to be an Americanized hoochie and stuff like that. But when you try coming over here and you're trying to build the thing, it all depends on what you want, and what she wants. If she wants to build a relationship with you, a family with you, then you're good. But if you pick the wrong woman,
Now, this woman, this woman is from a cannibal tribe. Do all kind of shit over there. I'm talking, they shit in the public and they do all kind of crazy shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I versus an American woman. I mean, and he's bragging about her being Liberian and coming from a not a cult, but coming from a shit, coming from a tribe and having a dowry to pay a dowry for her as though she's a virgin or something, right? When we know there's systematic rape and incest in Liberia and a whole lot of other filthiness going on. Okay,
and stuff like that. As soon as they get to
he's deceitful.
America, you know, it's not going to work. Because yeah, there is a temptation there. But what I'm
So
getting
as
at,
soon as they get to America, it's not gonna work. You're gonna keep over there in Liberia.
because I look at some of the people that went over to America and stuff like that, and they were fine.
Okay, we need to
The
get to the.
bullhorn, five going to take you and your great. Oh man, I went out with the homosexual marriage and all the stuff like that. That you're trying to make the same thing. At my engagement today, the reverend, the preacher spoke over us, and his words were really powerful. I got it on video. Where I'm gonna post it as soon as I get back. And the words were really powerful. He said, "Look, these two, your marriage is gonna be tested and everything like that. But the union between you, a man and a woman, is before God and everything like that."
Yeah, it's gonna be tested because you're completely of different tribes, and this lady has a whole different mindset. Like this dude is crazy. Okay, I want to get to this part where he was calling her a little girl.
And so I'm 19 years her senior.
Oh, here we go.
So
Here we go.
Point all the way to Painesville when I was there last in December 2019. That's why you're like, hey, Dinus, go to my fiance's graduation. I'm like, dude, and the school is not too far.
Oh, glad Dinah said that. Colin got mad with Dinah because Dinah didn't fly over there to Liberia and attend his young wife high school graduation to sit in at the graduation. I'm like, you want this man to fly over to Africa to attend your wife's graduation? What? What kind of friend is he? That's a really, really good friend if you expect that. Ah, and Dinah's giving a lame excuse, of course.
from Painesville, and still, my brain was like, the traffic was just too bad.
Hmm.
Yeah, now I understand. I completely understand now. I'm like,
Mhm.
geez, I don't regret nobody saying they can't meet with me because this traffic here is something else, man. But like I was telling people, I said Liberians, despite everything, these people are holding this country together. They're
What?
holding a country together.
Oh my gosh, this dude is so deceitful and deceptive. Why did he just say they're holding the country together? They ruined the fuck out of that country.
But with their nickels and dimes and their hard work, they're holding the republic together. We got to give them credit.
And what's this mask about? This dude, he give me creepy vibes with this stuff, this voodoo stuff he be doing into and stuff like that. Why he got the mask sitting up under him and stuff? Like, oh my gosh.
For that. There's too many black people sitting in America complaining instead of my girl sitting there laughing. Sitting in
Oh,
America
Carla,
complaining.
man, can we see you? Carla, come on,
Put
man.
the picture. Put the picture up. Put the picture up.
Well, the picture's up. Well, the picture's already up, but we wanted to see you guys live.
Oh
Prime
man,
time.
OMG. Kyla always does this. He was just saying that he was in Liberia like 2 weeks ago, and he had his phone talking about, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. You guys don't know what you're missing. And I'm like, open that fucking camera and show us what we missing. Open the camera. And I say he wasn't there. Somebody else said, African Goddess said, oh, he there. He just in one of them rundown motels where people stay. Is filthy, so he don't want you to see it. Now Dinus, he claiming he in Liberia right now, and Dinus pleading with him to open up the cam. He never want to open up his camera when he in Liberia. What you guys think about that?
It's prime
she's
time,
like
Carla.
she's in the shower right now. And I would love to.
Mm, mm,
I'm gonna do what she did. Look, check this out. Before I leave, Dinus, I'm gonna have her on. Matter of fact, to tell you the truth, we're going to RLK Friday night, right? I told O'Shea I'll do a show with him, and I can do a show with you. We're gonna be at RLK, and
Okay.
it's our last night in Liberia. I'm gonna be in Farmington Hotel on Saturday morning, waiting for my airplane. Saturday all day. So I'm not leaving from there until 4 o'clock in the morning when I board the plane. And so therefore, our last night is Friday night at RLK, RLJ, and we're gonna be there having drinks. Our last night, I'll do a show from there. Okay, and
Mhm.
so I'll make sure she's there and I'm there, and we'll
So he gonna wait till he get to some other place to do a show. He don't want us to see the background and stuff.
introduce ourselves formally to the public.
Please do, please do. So,
We'll do.
Carla,
But
so how long if in fact the wife's name is a
By the
future
way,
wife is Isabella.
by the
How
way,
long have you and
Kala has
how long have you and
Kala has never showed his wife on camera since this interview with Dinus, and Dinus was just saying, please do show her.
Isabella been dating? I didn't know about it
okay,
until last year. You was like, because you were like, yeah, Dennis, go. My fiance.
And by the way, he met her on a Facebook, online Facebook, Liberian International African dating site or something like that. And let me tell you something. My cousin, we was talking to her, and she told me her son met an African girl on some Facebook or something like that. And when he went to Nigeria, he met up with her. She picked him up from the airport. I'm like, what the fuck? What? And you just let him roll off with her? What? Are you crazy? He grown. And I'm like, you guys are in a foreign country. Like, what the fuck are y'all doing? But once again, they're not educated about where they're going and the people they're dealing with. They think that all skin folks are kin folks. They're not even aware of the dangers. Like that shit is crazy.
Fiance is graduating from college. Go and go holler at her for me, Dinas. I said, okay, I'm gonna go, but I couldn't because the traffic was too bad.
Right. We met in 2012. Right. That's when I formed the Association of African Americans from Liberia. Uh, Before I formed the BIL Ning site, that was my main social network, right? And I built that up over the last 9 years, 8, 9 years, right? And so we met in 2012, right? And we were just friends. And she was young, and everything. She was a friend. I thought she was just too young for me, whatever. And
She was young and he thought that she was too young for him. Of course, in America, that, if she ain't 18 and over, that's illegal, not just young. It's statutory, you know what I'm saying? And it's illegal. But over there in Liberia, he he know that it's legal, but he's still scared as fuck. Cause he got that African fear, I mean that American fear. Like, wait a minute, we gotta leave the young ladies alone. But he thought she was young and too young for him.
to be honest, we both had the same birthday, December 9th. And what happened was on Facebook, her birthday come up the same day I was, and that's how we really started talking. And she said, "Oh, you took an interest in my country." And I was like,
So they met on Facebook on their birthday, popping up at the same time.
and I was working on my book at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how we really met. She kept following my blog posts about Liberia, and my fights with Liberians and everything like.
And now she gets money from him weekly, even if it's $10 or $20 in her country. That $10 and $20 is a blessing. It's a lot of money. So there's a sucker every which way you turn, baby. I know them young girls be on online. Come on now. Wow.
That. She got a kick out of it and stuff like that. So we were just friends online, and we became friends, talking, through Messenger, WhatsApp, and everything like that. And we didn't really start really talking, getting serious until it was like late 2016, and I was actually dating someone else. And then 2017, then I said, okay, she's old enough now and everything like that,
Oh,
So we
oh.
started.
Okay, she's old enough now. Well, my motherfucking goodness, how old was she when she wasn't old enough? He said, okay, she's old enough now. So from 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16 was 5 years. And then he said a couple of more years, 2018, he said, okay, she's old enough now. Because she was a little girl. She probably was 15.
I said
We
I
talk
could
about
see
O'Shea.
dating. I see she's a real mature for her age and stuff like that. So
How,
we
how,
started.
how, 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 how old is your fiance?
Mature for her age. That's certainly not the description of a woman. She's mature for her age. That's not the description of a woman, honey. That's a description of a little girl who you think is mature for her young age. We're not stupid, sir. She's mature enough for her age. That means she's young, very young, but you consider her mature. Because a woman, you wouldn't give that description. She's mature enough for her age. You just say that's a grown woman. Now, think back all the way to 2012. If he's saying 7 years later, she's mature for her age, she's old enough now, or whatever, he was talking to a fucking baby.
She's 34. You
Okay.
know,
Lies.
and so I'm 19 years her senior. So but I was
Heck,
like,
no,
oh,
he 50. Call, he 53 years old.
yeah, I'm 53. I just turned
Okay.
53.
Okay.
And so therefore I'm 19 years her senior. So I was like, oh, I'm about dating somebody that young, whatever, like that. And then,
She young
she
and
convinced
trust.
me that she's a real woman. She's not a girl. And she's over there laughing.
A woman gotta convince you that she's a real woman? Since when? Like what the a woman has to convince you that she is a real woman for her age. That's a little girl. You're talking about a little girl.
And she's there laughing.
Hi, I'm Fanning Lynn, and I'm a graduate of OHSU's Physician Assistant Program.
Child,
And she convinced me that she was a woman. And I started learning that.
she convinced him that she was a woman. Wait a She convinced him that she was a woman. Now, I would ask, how did she convince you, sir, that she was a woman? Because clearly she's a very fucking much little girl. When I'm saying very fucking much a little girl, I'm thinking really young. She convinced you she's a woman. Child.
The difference is I'm not here to throw African American women under the bus.
Oh boy.
Everything that.
Oh boy. Here we go. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go
Oh
ahead.
no, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying. When you in America, right? All I keep hearing, even from afar here, the gender wars that's going on online and stuff like that. Black America's a mess. They're Russell Wilson. They're
Let me tell you something, sir. You went over there and messed with that little girl because you can't afford a black American woman. Okay, Carla has said on his panel, and he's going to say it on this panel as well, that the black American woman wanted him to pay her storage bills. I'm like, sir, you have a problem with paying $200 storage bills and shit? Are you fucking crazy? That means you ain't about to pay no mortgages and car notes or anything if you complain about paying $200 storage bill. So it's cheaper over there when they mess with women over there. It's cheap.
castigating him because he loved Sierra, and there's another guy, Bern, I think his name is. It seems like heterosexual relationships in Black America is under assault. You know, if you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. If you're not with a woman, they think you're gay. If you get with a woman, Michael B. Jordan, whatever like that, they call you a simp. Everything's out of whack in Black America. The culture is.
So this man is too up in age to be worried about what other people think. If you happen to meet somebody, you meet somebody. You shouldn't even be walking around here in your age bracket concerning yourself about what other people think.
Gone. You know, and so I'm saying to myself, I started looking, saying to myself, I want to, and I know a lot of people that date foreign women, and you had brothers, Isabella, can you lower that? I'm on the radio. Can you turn that down? Uh, anyway, I started seeing brothers going to Brazil saying
He talked to her like she was a little kid, by the way.
they like that, but I was not really into like going places and just for sex tourism. I'm not into that, you know. I was saying to myself, okay, I want to have a wife. You know what? I don't want to be that guy, sitting around old age, never married or whatever like that. So when I talk about a wife, a wife, a woman, a partner, when I'm serious about having a wife, and I want a black wife, I want an African wife. And so a lot of people will go and they'll say, oh, and I have no problem with guys going to the Philippines, whatever, wherever finds you happy. But for me, if somebody is a nationalist or somebody that's into Africa and stuff like that, my place was to find someone who was of African descent, Black African descent. Not racial ambiguous. Not none of that. I wanted a real African woman, a Black woman. From the motherland. That's what I wanted, right? So I said to myself, that's where.
Oh, sir, you're full of shit. Carla has some type of agenda, okay? He's deeply rooted into this Liberian country where there's no more American Liberians. They fled the scene and shit. The men was eaten up by the savages, and the rest of the people fled the scene. The whole Liberia today is overrun and overtaken by native indigenous Africans who are masquerading as Liberians, but they're not. They're native Africans, indigenous Africans. So when he go to Liberia, I thought for a minute he was on some Charles Taylor shit where he want to go and do the takeover again and try to, I thought he was on that kind of mission, but he's on some type of mission. He got some type of agenda going because he actually married that young lady for some citizenship. Now I don't know what he trying to do or whatever, but you better motherfucking leave them folks alone, sir. Like I know from what I've seen and read and studied about these people.
I'm gonna look, and so like I said, well, I heard about good stories about how women treat black men in Brazil, right? I said, wow, women cook for you, they do stuff like that. And when I was in Liberia, it
How can you think that another race of women are better than your women? That's a weirdo type of thinking. Like, it's so weird. It's weirdo shit. It's childish. It's so immature. I could never walk around thinking that the African man is more of a man than a black American man. The African man is more what? He the same fucking way. He abandoned his children all over the world. He go make children all over the world. He do the same shit. The white man is not perfect. The white man do the same shit as well. See, everybody got a little bit slight difference to how they move, but he's not a perfect man either to his women. That's why a lot of them willing to go with the chocolate man and the Asian man. I would never lift up another man over my fellow brothers talking about these men are better. I just wouldn't do that. I think it's pure stupidity. Like I can't even comprehend why would I even think that?
it's the same thing. Women do things for men. They cook for you. They take care of you. They allow you to be a man. Over here. And it's in this experience of being uncomfortable.
Allow you to be a man. They allow you to be a man over there because they cook and clean for you. So the women in America don't cook and clean for their husbands. Lord,
Culture where I'm appreciated as being a man.
what?
There's things I, as a man, I like to do. I like to invite people out and take everybody out for dinner and pay for.
Sir, a man is to protect, to provide, and to lead. Are you able to fulfill those duties, sir, as a man? Because if you are, I'm quite sure you're going to get that respect. But if you can't, it is going to be a lack of respect.
For it when not, and not feel like, okay, well, you're just doing it. No, no, no. That's what a man does. If I'm a man of means, I want to help. And there's a certain way I do. I open a door for women. I'm a gentleman. And it's a place where I could be myself. I could be a gentleman without being called a simp, without being called everything. People think it's corny, but I'm old fashioned. That's the way I grew up. I watched my father and mother.
This man is too up in age to be worried about what people think about him. My
It's
goodness.
my grandparents. And I saw that element of black society dying, the family structure, marriage and stuff like that is being trivialized, with the homosexual marriage and all the stuff like that. They're just trying to, make the same thing. At my engagement today, the preacher spoke over us.
Now he talks about how he wants to be wined and dined and treated like a man and appreciated as a man. But have we heard him one fucking time say that I like to wine and dine my woman? I buy her flowers. I treat her good. I fuck opening the door. I buy her flowers. I treat her good. I take her shopping. I make sure she don't have to walk or ride the bus. I make sure she's well tended to. My house is her house. He's not talking that.
And his words were really powerful. I got it on video where I'm gonna post it as soon as I get back.
Mm-hmm.
And the words, right, were really powerful. He said, "Look, these two, your marriage is gonna be tested and everything like that, but the union between you, a man and a woman, is before God, and everything like that." And I said to myself, I think that's missing in Black America. I think people realize marriage is a union before God, whether you're Muslim, whatever. You know, how can you bless two men married? You know, what I'm saying. So basically, I'm very pro. You know, a family, man, woman, and child. That's my definition of a family, and that's my definition of marriage and everything like that. And so,
And see the difference between him and O'Shea. I've heard O'Shea say he will trick on the woman. He's willing to trick. He's willing. I don't call it tricking. I call it whining and dining. He's willing to spend on the woman. Okay? He's willing to pay a storage bill for $200. Of course they're gonna take him over you. Things are expensive today, sir. We're not living in the 1930s anymore. That woman is out here kicking ass trying to pay for a house, a roof over her and her children's head, and somebody like O'Shea come up to her and he's willing to help step up and willing to help to pay the bills and all that kind of stuff. Of course she gonna snatch him up over you who's sitting there crying about you don't want to pay a $200 storage bill. But you would rather fly over to Africa so you can get a wife there and give her $10 a week, which is a lot of money in her country. And you go visit once a year. Okay.
I didn't see that happening in America anymore. You know, I'm seeing women 50 years old freezing the embryos, talking about, well, no, women in their 30s freezing the embryo saying, I'm going to party until I'm 50, you know?
They're gonna do what? They're gonna do what?
Party, you know? And so, and then and you got women out there talking about 60 is the new 40 and all this stuff like that, you know? Women, and I
Sorry, but this is very, very childish for a man in his age bracket. It's hella childish. I don't get some of these men like, okay, you don't like black women, move along. No need to complain. Just move along. Nobody's stopping you from doing what you want to do. Move along. Go live happily wherever you want to live. But when they do move along, so they go get married to an Asian or African woman from Africa or whatever. Black American women aren't worrying about what you have done with yourself and those women. Why are you constantly looking over at Black American women tending to what we're doing and you're married out of our race to other women? That's what I don't get. It's like me marrying a white guy, but I'm always looking at black men and what they are doing and what they're not doing. But I'm married to a white guy. I can tell you that means I'm not true for him. I'm not truly for him. What I truly want is a black man. That's why my eyes can't leave off of them. Because that's what I truly want, but I settled for you. And it's not fair for me to do that to the white guy. And that's what Kala is doing. He went over and got him an African wife or whatever, but his eyes are still on black American women. He shouldn't even be talking about black American women at this point. You're married out into a cannibal tribe and you got brother-in-laws and everything you say you hang out with and you send money to all that. You're no longer of us. And I always say you're a cosplaying black American anyway, you Barbadian. But let's just say you were. You married out, you're no longer us. So why you continue to be concerned with black American women, sir? None of them is worried about you.
if you listen to my radio show last couple of times, I was talking about, and I was throwing those veiled shots at people, but people didn't get it. I said, look, man, let's bring back Gam Gam. What is Gam Gam? You still that Diane's right? Gam
Well,
Gam is
listen,
this, right?
let
Remember Florence Jefferson? Gam Gam,
them
you
game.
know?
Right.
I said, look, I remember my grandma was 46, right? She was going to church and she was cooking grits, and she was like that.
Okay, so this old ass man got a young girl. He's sitting up here talking about Black American women all day. Come on now, this
Now a 46-year-old woman in
child.
America, she got hoochie stuff on and stuff like that. I said my friend Naya was on the phone with one of my members of the BIO, was on the phone with me saying, I don't know whether it's modern world, but I think it's happening all over the world as women become more independent and stuff like that. The need for marriage and everything ceases. Right, women want their careers. I get that, right?
Like I would never go to Dinah's house if I if I walked in his house and I saw that statue right there, that blue statue, I'd walk right back out the door. Nothing said. I would just leave. I would get the fuck up out of there ASAP. That is totally creepy. Like he has to have an African partner because I know. Listen, the women where I come from, we don't fuck around with stuff like that. That is some creepy shit.
But men, you don't want to be 50 years old in the club. You know,
Right.
you don't know. I mean, I don't care what anybody say. It doesn't look. I don't care what you try to say. It does not look good being in a gam comes up. Yeah, I
We're
think it was
talking about black
I
women.
used to think that spring cleaning was just about scrubbing floors and throwing out old junk. I thought that if
Valentine's Day.
So let's talk about this. So I need to go back and see because I didn't get a chance to really listen. They were saying that Kala's business partner, Bamani, they were saying that he was in Africa and the African authorities got after him for scamming and he had to literally climb out of a window, like I guess 5 stories high with his baby boy dangling in his hand, in his arms. And I'm like, what the crap? Because he was trying to get away from the authorities who was coming after him for scamming. And this is the person that Kala associates with. He give big ups to constantly. And you think that we're not going to think that you're into scamming? Come on now, birds of a feather flock together. Miss Chantel isn't into street walking. So I'm not going to hang out with streetwalkers. You get what I'm saying? Birds of a feather flock together.
You know, and it was like, oh man, everybody's all booed up. I'm like, oh, look at all these couples that are all booed up, right? But I get this. I went in there. I had a nice Cinema Cafe. I had a nice Philly cheesesteak, some wings, fries, iced tea, and a big pitcher of beer and popcorn. Right?
This is boring.
I had that all. You got this African American guy because most of them like they thought I was in the last 3 days that I'm here. This has been a really good experience. I'm loving about. They want to talk about what's that scandal? They want to talk about Beyonce, and they want to talk. Look, you're not gonna get Michael B. Jordan.
When it comes to us having relationships with them. So if this brother wanted to explore something else for the betterment of him, then come on. We don't really heal. We just kind of covered things up, so to speak, and then brought it into the relationship. And then, it was just too much emotionally. So she ended up walking away too. So I get how we don't really heal. We just kind of covered things up, so to speak, and then brought it into the relationship. And then, it was just too much emotionally. So she ended up walking away too. So I get how hard it is.
When you say you brought the baggage into the second marriage, like how did that, like what baggage, like how did that, what's the word I want to use? How did that show, or what's the word to use? How did when you say baggage?
Because the first marriage relationship was emotionally abusive, right? So by being emotionally abusive, I guess it kind of severed the tie that I had with emotions and my relationships, the concept of relationship. So therefore, when I actually went into the relationship, then I brought that hurt and pain. So everything was.
I don't mean to say this, but listen, Tyler Perry went to Africa and he was messing with an Ethiopian woman over there and had a son with her. But the Black American women here in America, they were like, You know, you couldn't tell them that Tyler Perry wasn't a gay guy, even though he never professed being gay. We all assumed that he was gay because it was like written all over your face. You don't have to say a word. Sometimes you could just see it. You know what I'm saying? And so he was dubbed as gay, undercover gay. Like the Brett and Queen Latifah, they were lesbians long ago. They didn't just turn lesbians. But what happened was that a lot of people had knew they were lesbians when they were popping and famous back then, but they kept it on a low low for whatever reason, you know. And then eventually, after so many years, they finally came out and was like, okay, I'm lesbian. But a lot of people knew, okay? So that's what a lot of guys, they don't just come out and admit to that right away. It takes them some time. Okay, one guy, his dad died. His dad was a preacher, and then when his dad died, then he came out as gay. He was like, "Yeah, I was gay. I didn't want to hurt my daddy." That's what he said. So, and the signs were there. He was dressing like a woman and all this stuff, but he kept denying he wasn't gay. But anyway, they have a lot of guys that's going to Africa that seem a little zesty marrying these wives because in America, Black American women have gay alert censors. So a lot of them, they be sounding real zesty, and they be going over there to Africa marrying women.
An emotional problem, I guess, or emotional explosion, as far as in it, not as far as like anger or madness, but more of just hurt and pain and the stuff we go through when we come through heartache and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, somebody said, "Don't be shy,
Right.
guys. Talk about yourself." I talk about myself all the time on this platform. What do you guys want to know? Like,
Yeah, Dinus, bro, come on, bro. Dinus, come on, bro. You can't even listen to these guys, man. I love you, brother. That's why I like call in, bro. Like you be on, bro. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. Hey, come on, man. I watch you all the time, bro. You always talking about you, and you have given me so much inspiration, bro. You literally laid your whole life out like a book, dude. Right. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, man,
I went to one back in LA, and all she would do was just repeat what I would say, and it was weird.
Right. Be masculine. We can't be strong. Exactly. We can't be anything. Yeah, I know.
Right. But then when we're masculine, is we're attacking.
Now we're dangerous. Yeah. Now we're dangerous, and now
shoot another black man.
Yeah.
So they did that, but then so the media puts this out, and then I guess then they put out the black women, sisters, your black men are effeminate or they're killing each other. Here goes Brad from Orange County. So now they're coming with the Brad from Orange County. That's why you notice in all the movies and commercials, it's like Carla said, it's black women.
Okay, I don't know where they live at or whatever, but it's to the point now. They seem like they're just talking to make up excuses for why they marry out. Like, who gives a fuck? Like, what? As long as you marry out, just mind you, don't leave black women alone. Go marry out. Nobody's stopping you.
Say this: the door is open. Like guys, and put it like this, man. If you guys are going through anything, men and women,
right.
If you're going through anything, man, and this is like an emergency, like Dinus, man, bro, I really need to talk, man. Send me an email, please. Send me an email.
Right.
And I'm not fucking goodness. Now he's a relationship coach. You talking about a scam artist for real? Lord have mercy. Now he's a relationship coach. He say, if y'all going through any struggles, send me an email and we gonna set something up to talk it out.
I'm saying I have all the answers, and I'm not one of these people who pretend to have all the answers, but I can direct you to someone who can help, whatever it is.
How much would that
be? By all means, if you're watching this and if you're going through something, if you need somebody to talk to, or just you need something, just send me an email anytime, and I promise.
Because I think
I might not.
Oh, I gotta see this motherfucker email, right? To ask him for some grocery money. Listen, the groceries where I'm at. This shit is expensive. So I'm gonna have to send him an email. He said, if you need something, like if you need something, I'm gonna have to send him an email for my groceries, for some groceries.
Able to give you a solution, but I could try my hardest to put you in contact with somebody. And listen, I have it's open door, and also too, like, it's discreet. Like, I won't, I'm not. You guys notice I stay away from the drama. So if it's Vegas rules. So if you
No, you don't stay away from the drama, sir. What you do is scam, and when you're called out, you ignore it until it fade away. But it's gonna come out again and again and again, like it has. People has come out on you multiple times, and what you do is just ignore it. Okay? But you don't stay away from the drama. You ignoring. If you never come up to ask, to address the scam, then it does kind of fade away.
again just need someone to talk to, if you're going through something, if you need help, if you have questions, again, if I don't have
If you need help, I guarantee if I email him, tell him I need groceries, he wouldn't help.
the answer, I don't have all the answers,
He would refer me to Salvation Army.
but I could put you into touch with somebody that might have an answer for you that I trust. That's say, you know what, this person you're talking to, I trust. It's somebody who I will confide in. There we go. Because they're not professional counselors as far as being doctors, but I have people who I talk to almost every other day when I have a problem, and seek counsel from. I have plenty of people I seek counsel for. In fact, a couple of them in the chat room, I'm not going to say their name, but I have a couple of people that been on the phone with me for hours. Like, man, this is what I'm going through. I need help, man. Talk to me. I need to do this, that. I've been there, and you're like, look, am I doing something wrong? But I would say that's why my shirts, Africa is my therapy. Just like you, Colin. Right. When I went to Africa in 2011, I was like, oh my God, this,
In this country,
I did a video on that, y'all. I did a video and I said that Kala was using Africa as an escapism. I said that. I said that's an old, lonely, bored man. He don't got shit else going on. That Liberia stuff he pushing is just escapism for him to have something to cope in his reality, take his mind off of his real reality. Dinus just said that's why he go to Africa. That's why he focus on Africa, because it helped to get his mind off his reality, whatever his reality is.
I said to myself the first 2 days I was here, I said, this land I'm a king. But I know now that I say this land I'm a
Thank you, and I appreciate everything you guys have been doing for the community too, as well, brother.
I got to finally see myself when I'm here as a human being. That I got my faults, I have my fears, and it's all right to say I don't know or just sit back. I did a lot of listening when I'm here, Dinus. People tell me their stories and stuff like that. Even though I know a lot about Liberia, and a lot I don't know.
Right.
So I listened to a lot of people here. I listened to their stories. I really took note of people and stuff like that. And I said to myself, I'm gonna carry these memories with me for the rest of my life. And as I'm building with this country,
it's all escapism
and connecting with this country, stuff that I see that the average Liberian girl don't have to go through.
Right.
I don't feel pretty. My hair's not this length. My hair's not this color, and all this stuff like this. All this unnecessary stuff that I know African Americans are very strong, because then again, the strong ones like us, then there's a lot of African Americans who succumb to the white man stuff and start acting a fool, like the girl with the gorilla glue in her hair, all this kind of foolishness, I see, the gorilla glue girl and all this kind of foolishness that we see on videos and everything. There's black people who act the fool and white people sit back. Like, you think white people sit back laughing at the foolish?
The girl actually made an honest mistake. There's a such thing as Gorilla Glue hairspray. Okay, and she just was thinking it was sort of like a product she can use in her hair, but it wasn't for the hair. It was a different Gorilla Glue, okay, for like, real heavy stuff you want to mantle on a wall or something like that.
As we talk about, people talk about they're not African. I was already here. I'm Native American, Aboriginal, and some white people looking at like they see a community that's completely dysfunctional. They know we don't love our women in America. They know we're chasing the red bones and we love the racial ambiguity. They know that, they know all that, and they play.
You got
Kala,
that?
you there?
They sure do know it.
Kala.
It's your self hate.
Guru.com.
And so this is taking a toll on well, it was taking a toll. Just look at this every day, the every day in America, and there's like no love between us and our community and stuff like that, while at the same time how hypocritical we are. And that's another thing we have to deal with, Dynasty, is Black American hypocrisy. you know Black American hypocrisy. We Marcus Garvey talked about
But
this.
listen, I know that there's some crazy people out here, and I know that there's some I hate black women, men out here, and go to every country you can except um, just don't mess with the black American woman. I know all of that is out there, but when I get up and walk out my door, I'm thankful to be alive and I'm happy. I don't care what no black man is tripping off about. He don't like black American women. Honey, I walk in celibacy until marriage, and I don't care what that man thinking and what he's saying. That's his issues. Shit, I'm happy. I'm looking to have fun somewhere. I'm looking to do something nice and who I can help and do something nice and live and have fun. This is so downy to sit around and be worried about what other people think about you in these age brackets. Why not find something you can do to be helpful to somebody? Go to the community center and be helpful to the young kids. Complaining about women and all that. This is such a
You
downer.
know, we don't care about anything that we claim we care about. We don't care about that. Why? Because we don't pass anything down to our kids. Kids,
We hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, what he's talking about is kind of interesting, especially when it comes to going back to Africa. For example, over here, we're never going to get accepted the way that a human being has kind of evolved over the whatever thousands of years to want in a community, because we all grow up as children. We get some love, attention, and the issue with that actually is that it makes us feel that the rest of the world should give us the same thing that our parents gave us. But then when you do grow up, you realize that there is a difference between you and them. For example, I remember when I was around, I would say 8, no. I was 10 years old. And there were just little toy things. They're called Crazy Bones. So just a bunch of plastic collectible kind of toys. Now, one girl, this little, blonde girl, accused me of stealing her crazy toys. I didn't even know what it was, right? At this point. But the point here, thing that I immediately understood is that, first of all, if someone accuses us of something, we're gonna have to defend ourselves extra hard. And then on the time when you're trying to defend yourself, they also now think, okay, he must be actually guilty because he's over defending himself. So I guess the point I'm making here is that we're never going to find that peace that we seek from the external environment in this place of the world, and just to be ourselves. That's not going to happen. Ultimately, the kind of comment that I have is I make as much money as possible, and I save up enough to be able to retire back home. I think that's really the only kind of thing, because if you expect to live here and have that peace of mind and that kind of healthy environment where you can express your emotions, right? Like, people are supposed to be able to be happy, sad, angry, without being then put on this weird place. For example, at work, I know I can't really respond to things the same way other people can. It's a fact that I've accepted. I'm not going to be angry or sad about it. I've just, I keep it, I acknowledge it. So ultimately, really is, just save up as much money as you can and then move back home. Now, someone said Africa is not utopia either. Yeah, of course. It depends on the country you go to, and again, if you are from the diaspora, you're gonna have more money than some of the people who live there usually. So what you need is, you need to save enough so that you can actually go and have some rent or buy a place which has security, for example. Things like that.
We had somebody else on, but they dropped off. Mahogany, if you want to call back in, I can put you in, put you back on. So, guys, hit that like button again.
Conditioning.
How am I already underwater?
I'm in the same boat.
I'm in an actual boat because I've been using Grammarly's AI for years.
You're gonna have to find a place where who you are is the norm, right? Like,
again, like I said, I respect my black women. I love my black women, and what they say, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Yeah. I want that. And like I said, I have no kids. Single, and doing well for myself. And same with my brother, my oldest brother as well. But yeah, I do commend black women too, to go to Africa, to see the roots in Africa, to see my twin brother and my oldest brother. They went to South Africa and saw it was beautiful. I mean, it's very, very beautiful. It was.
And that are calling in, they sound like they're every bit of under 35 years old.
Okay.
You have a culture where you have women in their 50s, and it's not taking shots at black women. Where you have black women and black men acting a fool. Rick Ross and all.
Part of myself when I get a different kind of job.
As a waitress, the whole summer on Montauk, everyone is out there. Anyone who has power, who has money, who has resources, has left. We're the only ones still in these inner cities. We are the only ones, and we are struggling. And there's no way for us to even look at marriage when we can't even afford property. You can't even afford property. How are you supposed to get married? So I'm not upset with brothers in New York. I'm not upset with them. I know they're struggling. I know that if we were in a different environment, there would be more opportunities for us to link up and sync up. But I don't want to have to be the driving force behind all of the success in my marriage as a woman. I don't want to have to come in there and put more than half of my resources down for someone who is eventually going to end up stepping out on me because he doesn't value his own genes.
Right.
That's the truth.
Check us out. And that's what I was alluding to just a while ago. A sister like her is a queen, and the bottom line is
this Society of America show got people fucked the hell up. You valuing each other based on your assets and like what? You value this man based on what he brings to the table, and he value you based on what you bring to the table. I mean, you won't know the true essence of a man. They say, this is a saying, they say that if you want to know a man's loyalty, wait till he become rich. If you want to know a woman's loyalty, become poor. The man, he become poor, he gonna see her loyalty, and she'll see his loyalty when he become rich. But I'm just this American society has people really messed up because the essence of a person is not based on the assets they have. The essence of a person has nothing to do with what the material they possess. That is crazy to judge a person based on the material they possess. Because in this country, we all can go get a job, a 9 to 5. We all can take and use our credit to get a house that we don't really own unless we paid in full, unless it's paid in full. We didn't bought it all the way out. But if you haven't paid for that house in full and it's not yours, you're renting a house, but yet you think you own a house. You don't own the house. You're renting somebody else's house. All it takes, if 3-4 payments you miss, It's no longer your house after living there 22 years, paying a mortgage 22 years. It's no longer your house. We gotta come on now. That's game. That's same thing with a vehicle, expensive vehicle. That stuff is not yours if you haven't bought it out in full. Rich people who buy out homes in full, that is theirs. But people who got this stuff on credit and all of that, that is renting. You're renting a house. You're renting a vehicle on credit. You're living off credit. Okay? And anybody out here can go and use their credit to get those things. So I don't know how you could. I mean, just valuing somebody based on assets is so crazy to me. Like, anyways, let's move along. This video was like about relationships or whatever, and it seems so lost of a conversation. Because first, before you can start a relationship with other people, you need to make sure that you're happy with yourself, that you love yourself and you're happy with yourself before you get entangled with somebody else. Moving along. I wonder if y'all saw the video when I showed about the cannibals, Carla going over there and eating at the restaurant. I wonder if y'all saw the video because when I put it up, 1 second. I'm going to take this one off. I'm going to take this one off. Shaw, we got to see this right here. I'm gonna go back to this cannibal video because I want you to know how Kala be going over there running his ass to Africa, eating with them folks. Don't know what he's sitting up there eating. And he got sick over there before. Don't know what he's sitting over there eating and shit. And then want people to come with him to Africa and eat and drink the food after they just hold on. Why are you crazy? Okay. I don't think y'all seen the video. That's why I want to play it again because um, my screen probably wasn't sharing it. So when you talking to them African people, not African, when you talk to them Pan African people and they telling you to go to Africa and all that shit, and when they get there, they be eating at the restaurant like Go Black. He was sitting there eating at the table at the restaurant and stuff. Um, yeah, this is the type of shit that goes on in some of these countries. I want you to hear this.
Tribesman Samuel
Yep,
Doe
I'm glad I played it
overthrew the
again because
Liberian
it
government
wasn't on the screen.
as the tribe's priest.
All right, here we go.
Making sure they were protected.
Victims were
So this is Buck Naked, the cannibal soldier guy. He tells his story, his ritual story, how he became a cannibal and stuff, and how he went around to all the eateries, the restaurants, mixing blood that was sacrificed from humans into all the restaurants into the food, paid people to mix it into the food all at all the restaurants around the country, I guess you could say.
chosen by the village elders so that Joshua could make the traditional offerings to Nambewe.
I was a magic man. I was a superman. Moreover, I was officiating the duty to my tribe, making sure they were protected.
In 1980, Joshua's fellow tribesman Samuel Doe overthrew the Liberian government. As the tribe's priest, Joshua's role was to use human blood, especially white blood cells, of sacrificial victims to undermine Samuel Doe's enemies.
So he was to use the human blood of sacrificial victims to undermine the president's enemies.
Samuel Kayando was the president. So we injected his fame in the minds of people by taking these white blood cells and take them to different eatery,
Taking them to different eateries, the restaurants.
pay people at those eateries and put them in
They paid people at the eateries to put it in the food, in the drink.
every food that was cooked. So anyone who eat from that eatery automatically have the fear of President Doe.
After Samuel Doe was murdered in 1990, Joshua Bly renamed himself General Butt Naked.
And he became a Christian. That's what Elvis do. He masquerade as a Christian, but because that's what they were taught to hide their cannibalistic behavior and stuff. With the cloth of Christianity.
Naked and took command of a unit of child soldiers. Next on Strange History, Joshua Bly embarks on a bloody rampage that will last.
Mm. So I wanted you guys to see that because you be running in them countries, rubbing up on them people's food, especially where you don't even know how these people mindsets, their culture and what their mindset is. People just so you got to take the time to learn who you about to go up under. Like that stuff is so dangerous. What they be doing, y'all just be running and what is this? Give me a second. Okay. Oh, let's get into this one, David. We gotta check this one out right quick. I'm getting sleepy, so I'm only show these two videos and I'm gonna wrap it up. We gotta check this one out, boo. Let me tell you something. When I say that the ADOS FBA family is highly influenceable around the world, listen, look at here. You have they got Hebrew. Diners need to know this. Somebody tell Diners that they got Hebrews all throughout Africa that's not ADOS FBA. They have converted Hebrew Israelites, converted people to Hebrew Israelites in Africa. The Africans. They have converted them into Hebrew Israelites. So okay, when you hear about them cults, them Hebrew Israelites in Kenya and all of that, a lot of Africans are a part of those camps. Okay, they have collected a lot. They are growing their numbers over in Africa. They have collected a lot of brothers in Africa who follow them, their teachings, and all of that. Okay, since Diners want to yap his mouth about them, have you know they go into communities to get them brothers out from under worshiping white Jesus. Okay, and the brothers join a camp and they teach them the scriptures. And you about to see it right now. Look at the screen. You're gonna hear the brothers talk about the scriptures that they've been taught by the Hebrew Israelite brothers. Okay, they're going all through Africa, um, raising their numbers up, collecting the brothers up, and teaching them the word and teaching them that they're the descendants. Now, which I don't agree with. They're the descendants of the Hebrew Israelites, and the man up. Now, I don't think I don't like the idea of how they treat women. Some of their groups, they don't treat women very well. But the other ones, some of them, I don't think anything is wrong with it. I think it's a wonderful thing. They're out here teaching men how to be men. They teach them how to, take care of their household, their family, biblical stuff. All right. They teach them how to be leaders, protectors, and providers. And if you're gonna have biblical teachers, you can't be out there scamming, Diners. So while you pointing fingers at the Hebrew Israelite brothers, honey, you scamming. They're not scamming nobody. We don't hear about them scamming folks. Okay? We don't hear about, the Hebrew Israelites are scammers. No, we hear about them being some jackasses sometimes. Some of the camps are cuckoo, acting crazy. They talk crazy. Like one time in Atlanta, I walked up to him and asked him something. I forgot what I asked him. Just a simple question, and he snapped the fuck out on me. I was like, I don't know Who you think I am, sir? But let me tell you something. I had to get real crazy with him and set him straight, and then he smiled. Very disrespectful, some of the camps. Very disrespectful to women. That was the camp that be in Atlanta, downtown Atlanta. But anyways, yeah, they do a good service to the community to me because they don't scam the community. They're not really doing anything bad. I mean, why would you consider this a bad thing that they go through the community and collect brothers to join in and realizing that they the Hebrew is they are the biblical Hebrew Israelites. That's on them if they want to believe that. They teach them the Bible, and of course, the Bible has very good teachings. It teach you how to behave like a man, and it teach you how to be a leader, a provider, a protector, and how to be in your brotherhood. I think this is what black men should be doing. They should be forming brotherhoods around the world with the brothers. It's wonderful, and I do applaud them for that very much. The ones in America, I applaud them for that. I see it all the time. They form brotherhoods. All of them should be forming brotherhoods. That's right. That's right. So I applaud. You can criticize them all you want, baby, but they ain't never been called no scammers. Okay? You might say they're disrespectful for calling people out and going knock on church doors and all that or doing something like that, but they ain't never scammed the community. They're actually doing good things in the community by building brotherhoods with the brothers. And I think that that's a natural thing for men to build brotherhoods. Like it's so natural. Okay. All right. So I applaud them again. Let's look at the video though of them recruiting in Africa because they have recruited in Africa. They have them in Ghana too. I'm subscribed to the one in Ghana. Some of them, they're very well studied, and to me, some are not. But the one in Ghana, this one guy, I do follow him. He makes a lot of sense, and um, I think it's an awesome thing. Again, they are out there recruiting the brothers to, wake up and be men of God, leaders, and protectors and providers of their communities. Let's listen. Oh, I gotta go over here.
What the Bible says, correct?
Yes.
So it does matter how Christ looked at because Matthew chapter 24 verse 4, Christ was warning us that something was going to come and happen.
Yes.
This is what he said, Matthew 24 verse 4.
The book of Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 4. And Jesus answered and said,
You see how they well taught in the scriptures? He started reading before he even got to the he got to the verse.
unto them, take heed,
Be careful
that no man deceive you.
that what?
No man deceive you.
Christ said somebody was going to come and deceive the entire world.
For many
shall
come in my name,
they were going to come in Christ's name,
saying, I am Christ,
and they were going to say they are Christ,
and shall deceive.
Now they could be out there using the Bible to scam people, but they don't use their religious beliefs to scam people. I've never heard of a Hebrew Israelite group using their religious belief as a scam. I think they get money mainly through grants and stuff. What they call them things, faith-based grants. Because when it comes to faith-based grants, it's so many. Like they have so much money when it comes to faith-based anything that they encourage people. They actually encourage people to sign up their faith. Like for instance, Nature Boy, he used to be online and he was saying that, they're not a cult, but they believe in this, that, and that. They even try to recruit him to sign up. He did sign up and stuff, and they donate money to your organization, being that it's faith based. So they got these big old corporations where they give large amounts of money to faith based organizations. I think that's the quickest way to make money too. Like they get free money, like you know. But yeah.
Men who did that during the colonial period, the white men, came to Africa, the Caribbeans, and deceived our people that Jesus looked like him. Christ was warning us that somebody was going to come and deceive many that Christ looked like them. Read on. Sure.
For many shall come in my name, saying I'm Christ, and shall deceive many.
And they were going to deceive many. So today, all of us been deceived by the white man. Jesus looked like him. Instead, Jesus is a black man. Like you, my brother, said, you're from the Igbo tribe. The Igbo people of Nigeria, they are Israelites. They are Jews. The Jews migrated from Israel, 70 AD, and migrated down to Africa. The Nigerians, the Liberians, the Ivorians, the Ghanaians, we are all one people, Israelites of the nation of Israel. We are the Israelites. Exactly.
So I want to ask you a question. You are a Liberian, right?
I am a Liberian by birth, but by origin, I'm a Jew from Israel.
Question: why does Liberians, why are they still influenced by the white man? You guys use the same currency, your flag is influenced by them, everything you guys do is influenced by the white people. Why?
Good question. Deuteronomy 20.
Oh no, sir. We're not gonna do that now. Hold on. He asked you a question that your country, your currency, and all of that is influenced by the white man. First of all, these two brothers are African. They're not Liberians. Once again, I spoke about this earlier in the stream that Liberians, who was they have a group of okay. Liberians are not Africans. Liberians are descendants from chattel slavery in America. That is Liberians. Then you have African native tribes that was around Liberia. They stole Liberia from the people and began because they stole the land. They also stole the people's identity and began to call themselves because they lived in Liberia, the country they stole. They also began to call themselves Liberian. And as they went around the whole world, they have a lot of them in America. They're still masquerading as Liberians, but they're not Liberians. They are indigenous African people calling themselves Liberians. They're not. So when a man asks him, why do you use these white people stuff? He was supposed to say to me, that is not of us. That is of the original Liberians who built the country and is no longer here due to the war. But instead, he just continued to masquerade like a Liberian and go into the Bible.
28 and verse 48. All the answers are in the Bible. That's why we came to the street. Even the Independence Day they are celebrating, it's a mirage. Liberia is not independent. What independent means self-reliance. Is Liberia relying on itself? No, they are depending on everything from the white nation. But that is a prophecy in the Bible. Read what you got.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 48. Read. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies.
I say the Jews, the Israelites, will serve their enemies. Who are our enemies? The white men. You know?
Which the Lord shall send against thee.
And God sent them against.
Oh, wait a minute. The enemy don't just come as white now. Shit. Now, it don't just come as white. White people ain't your only enemies.
In slavery, we don't eat hunger, and we'll serve them for food. The people of Liberia, the food we eat, our staple food is rice. Who do we get it from? The white man. That's what the Bible says. We don't in thirst. The water we drink, even if we want to save drinking water, we must get it from who? The white man. Stranger are the Lebanese, the Indian, the white man that is in Liberia, that is within thee, that is in this country, shall get up above thee very high. They are going to be above us very high. Is that not Revelation chapter 2 and verse 9? The one we have now or the one in the Bible? Now, if you look, the Israelites in the Bible, they are black people. The one in Israel today, they are white people. They call themselves Jewish. I'll show you that. Revelation 2 and verse 9.
The book of Revelation, chapter 2 and verse 9.
Read.
I know that works.
This is Jesus speaking, the black Messiah. He said, I know your works.
In tribulation.
And tribulation.
In poverty.
So to tell you that Christ is talking to black people, what race of people on earth that is in poverty? Black people. Christ said, I know your poverty. Read on.
But thou art rich.
Why did he say we read? Because the promises in the Bible belongs to us. Read on.
And I know the blasphemy of them.
The blasphemy are the lies of them
which say
They are Jews. The people that are lying today in the land say they are Jews are fighting.
OMG. Hold on, y'all. Heck no. So they just called out the Jews over in Israel as being fake Jews, while they are calling themselves Liberians, but they are not. Liberians are people that are descendants of chattel slavery here in America, not African indigenous tribes of people that stole the country and stole the people's identity and masquerading as Liberians. Oh my gosh. Wow. And he just called the Jews out for being fake.
Fighting the Palestinians. Say the land belongs to them. Those people are lying and saying they are the Jews.
Wow.
And are not. Christ said they are not the Jews. They are not the Jews. What color are the Jews? Jeremiah 14 verse 2. Christ is going to tell the color of the Jews. It's in the Bible. Jeremiah 14 verse 2. Read what you got. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 14 verse 2. Judah Munah, the Jews. Judah Munah. And the gates thereof language. What color are they? They are blood. What color are the Jews? They are blood. What color are the Jews? They are blood. The Bible said the Jews are what color? Black. The white man came and brought his Christian church and turned everything upside down.
Wow.
But the people of the book, the Israelites, the Jews, black people. Thank you very much.
Not just the pistol, but the Catholics and stuff. So these brothers are very well taught the scriptures, and I can tell they mess around with their Hebrew brothers because that's how they be with their scriptures. They are very well taught in the scriptures. I would like to get to that point myself where they be going through the word real quick, like they're very well taught. They know exactly where to go. So when I read the Bible, it's more like I can't tell you what story, where to find exactly this particular scripture. You know what I'm saying? So as I read it, it's a lot to read. So I'm just impressed by them knowing it to the point where they know exactly where to find a scripture. I can say like, oh, that's in the book of Matthew, but then I can't tell you what chapter or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Unless you remember all of that in chronological order, and that's a lot to remember. So I don't know who teach them how to remember these scriptures exactly where they are and stuff, but they do a hell of a great job because they be knowing how to go through them scriptures and just where the scriptures are. I'm impressed by that. So that's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. The brothers are going through Africa collecting up the fellows and making them men and leaders of their nations.
Oh, thank you so much.
We rather see them pushing the Bible than pushing drugs in the community and other stuff, right? We rather see them pushing the Bible.
Thank you so much.
From what was just taught, what do you grab from that? The truth is, this is quite a revelation, right? And it's quite eye-opening. I have never actually thought about it, because I never thought it was that important. But I now see how important it is for you to actually understand, your race, who you are. Right? Your origin. By understanding your origin, of course, it helps you know how to better place yourself, how to better interpret and live in this world. So thank you very much. Last, do you see our speech to be his speech? His speech is not his speech. It is what? It is
enlightenment. I want to call it enlightenment.
You say it is what, sir?
Yeah. Enlightenment.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
Yeah, bye-bye.
All right, guys, that was a very wonderful one. Wow. So, keep watching, guys. This is still Liberia. So it's still Independence Day. Yeah, what do you think about that thing, to be honest?
No, that's quite enlightening, right? Eye-opening.
Yeah.
I won't even lie. So it's something I want to ask. It's something that people need to pay attention to because blacks have really been suppressed a lot.
Yes.
And the Liberian people, Liberia is that place that shows how suppressed blacks are. I won't lie to you. Guys, Liberia, where we are. You know what I would say? I actually want
Because, guys, there's no reason why anything white should be holy, why everything black should be devil. That calls for questioning. So, we are
Like that the interaction was a positive interaction, and they walked away pondering about what they had just conversed about with the brothers that was converted to Hebrew Israelites. It was a good conversation, something to think about. This is Liberia where Carla be and he be talking about it's so beautiful. It's beautiful. Look at that. Oh my gosh. It's just oh my god. Ooh, wow. It is so beautiful. Wow. Look at the multicolor umbrellas. Oh my. Ooh, that is beautiful. That's what Carla be saying. Oh, what's up with the water? All right, now I'm gonna show my last video and wrap it up because I'm sleepy. Okay, what did I do? I made a mistake and clicked. Okay, let me go here. This is another part of this here is another part of Liberia. Now, Carla was saying ain't no gay people in Liberia. This is Liberia. Maybe he's doing it for money though. But anyways, this chick right here, her channel, I do go to the channel. You guys see what it's called, My Liberian People. She shows a lot of Liberia. Is this the girl who I'm talking about? I think this. No, this ain't it. This is a different channel. But anyways, they have some stuff on here I want to show you. Okay, so I'm not gonna go looking for the video of the last president that was killed. The last president of Liberia before the war, who they killed. His daughter gave a message, a lecture, and she was speaking about the country and what happened when they found out how they found out it was a war that broke out. They were so unaware. It just happened out of nowhere for them. Okay, the attack was a surprise attack. All they know is that one day they started hearing shooting and it wasn't really far away. She tells her story about it, and they had some people call from a different tribe, of course, and they were like, "Yeah, they're shooting and they're threatening to come get you and your siblings and your mom and dad and so forth." And so they had to break loose and go into hiding because the people was, you know, looking for the son and the children, the daughter and the mom. And so, one second, I think this is it right here. And I was talking about the president of America, Liberia, right? War. Yeah. And so the people, they had to, they kept the mom in a room prison for a while with no bed or anything. They just kept her locked in a hard on the floor in a hard, in a room for like a month. They say the daughter escaped to neighbors, but they eventually caught her, and she was hiding out with some neighbors who hid her. And the local natives, they try to help her out, and the brother, I think he got away. Okay, he wasn't caught. He got away, and they killed the dad, of course. It's the president's family, and so the country was overtaken and all that stuff like that. But it was a surprise attack for them. They never saw the shit coming. Yep. And so in this video right here, you're gonna see the man who went, him and his people who went and killed the American Liberian president. You're gonna see his daughter and his family on the land in Liberia celebrating the land as though this country was built by them. So am I saying that they were proud of their dad for going and snatching up somebody else's country and killing them and eating them? I guess so. So this is the man, Doe's daughter. Okay, she arrived back in Liberia and they're giving her a celebration. Look how happy these people are of their Samuel Doe, who overthrew the president of America of Liberia and killed him. The people are celebrating that he took over the country. He snatched that country up and overthrew, killed the men and overthrew the people, got the people up out of there, and they snatched that country up and took it over. And the people are so happy. They respect his family because he was eventually killed. And look how the people respect his family. They got that land, they took it and made it theirs, and they happy to have it. Something they didn't build, by the way. So when Kyla claimed to be a miracle Liberian, um, well, he's not a miracle Liberian, but these people are not American Liberians. They're not Liberians at all. They're the natives that stole the country and masquerading as Liberians. And so they're celebrating the fact that the country is theirs, and the president who overthrew that American Liberian president, they're celebrating his family back into Liberia. I think y'all know where I'm going with this, right? See, that tribal shit is crazy. All they know is They don't give a fuck about the other man's daughter and family and what they went through. They don't give a fuck. All they know is they're proud of her dad for going in and overthrowing the Liberian president, taking their country, just snatching it right out their hand from them, and then having the audacity to masquerade under their name as though. See, Carla wife is from like these type of people, and they all are celebrating the fact that the country is theirs, and the godfather of the country who overthrew, who snatched that country from the American Liberians. They celebrating him, his family. He not around, but they celebrate his family. That's how much respect they have for him. This is Carla wife people. So when he go over there, he has nothing to do with American Liberians. They don't even live in Liberia no more. Liberia is just full of African indigenous people. Ain't no more American Liberians. There are Caribbean Liberians or Haitian Liberians. They all fled the scene, sweetie. So I don't know why he be trying to convince people, Black Americans, to move to Liberia, because there are no Black Americans over there. You understand what I'm saying? And if you know the history, you would not go over there. In the United States, making her voice clear and all of that. Lord of hammers, girl. So you up there in the United States masquerading as a miracle Liberian, and here the America Liberians are in the USA too, sitting there looking at you like, bitch, y'all stole our motherfucking country. But you sitting up here, stand up here like this is your country and stuff, and you're calling yourself a Liberian when you know you're not. You're an African indigenous person from an African tribe. You're not like, do you see? That's beyond tethering. Like, oh my gosh. That's what she said. She said it. You heard her. She said, our country. And Elvis says it all the time. Hey, Carla, I don't care what you say. We took the country, we took it. And you can't take it back. Come try to take it back. We took the country, it's ours now, and just move along, go on somewhere. He says that all the time, Carla. That's what she just said. Our country, that's how all of them feel. So I don't, that's why I'm like, why would The American Liberians don't want to go back there. They like, you can have the shit. They don't want to go back. They damn near had a tantrum when Trump tried to send them back his first year. And people's like, oh hell no, I ain't going back over there. So we have to wonder why College is trying to get Black Americans over there with that deception and deceitfulness he got going on. Trying to lure the people over there. For what? To build up Liberia for the natives. Girl, he done ate the Kool-Aid and drunk the food with the mixture. Child, take a seat, sir, and be quiet. This is pure foolery. Trying to get people to locate to a country and build it up for some. Girl, you just can't get no more stupid than that. It's pure stupid. Anyways, I am sleepy, people, and I have talked enough, talked myself to sleep. And yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up right here. So chaotic truth, that is chaotic truth. I kept thinking of the name sound familiar. Yes, I remember who he is with the channel with the yeah, I remember that. So anyways, thank you for tuning in. I hope y'all find the video educational. I hope you learned something from it. And good night.